Hey everybody, welcome back to Reaper Pro Tips with me, your host, Ann, Disembodied Hands Quindy, and Disembodied Beard John. Yes, we're trying out the new intro. We're trying out the new intro today. And there's a lazy Kiki over by the shoe rack, but she's a very lazy Kiki right now, so we're going to just leave her there, and maybe she'll make an appearance later in the show, alright? Yes. Oh dear. Yes, very lazy Kiki. Oh wait. She's offended. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not offended enough. You good, girlie? Yeah, she's just plopped. She's plopped. It's going to be another hot day here today, and the house is already at 74. And because that's the problem with prolonged heat in this house. It's like if we just have a day of it, then we're fine, even a couple days. But if it ramps up to like high 80s and then it sticks at 90 for a couple days, like it has over the weekend, then the house never really cools down overnight, and so we end up like getting really hot the next day. Disembodied. That's a good one, Kerniko. Disembodied. That's a really good one. Awesome. Yeah, we'll think about using disembodied. Except he's not disembodied. He's got the beard. We have not, like, he'd have to lose a bet and shave it. Like, that would ever happen. Like, not that John wouldn't lose a bet, but he would never bet and have the result be that he had to shave his beard. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it most of the time. It's just when it's prolonged heat wave, I think it gets a bit much. I almost wish we'd set up the AC last night. We're not Age of Marvel, because if we did, I think if we had like real heat waves, I'd probably say, David, we need to like just get AC. But yeah, it's true. Nobody would recognize John if he shaved, except me, because I would vaguely remember what he looked like when he had a much shorter beard, or no beard. I don't remember. It's a long time. I've slept since then. Yeah, right. Hi, Kiki. Would you like to say hi to people? Would you like to say hi to people? Do you want to get up? Yeah? Here. Do you want to have your up-ups? Hey, you just slobbered on my knee. The least you can do is say hi. Come here. If you slobbered on my knee, Kiki. Hey, guess what? Because of Reaper's generosity, it looks like Kiki will be staying at the Con Hotel at ReaperCon. I've been communicating with Ron and asking him telling him we'd reimburse him if he had an extra room in the block, the artist block. So yes, it looks like that may come through. And now we have a Kiki. She's kind of a brat. Like she's reached the bratty adolescent Kiki stage. So yeah. Hi there, Bubba. Good girl. Oh, you do look lazy today, though, and you've got an eye booger. Oh, eye boogers are no fun. They're no fun. No, they're not. Who's a pretty girl? Yeah, you look sleepy even. Oh, hey, nice, Fancy. Thanks for continuing the sub. Yeah, it's the Keekster. Oh, hi, Keekster. My good girl. You're my good girl. Hi, oh, a paw. I've got a paw. Yeah, all right, baby girl. You want to get down? Oh, now you want to chew on me. Well, that's not acceptable. Nope. It's not acceptable, Bubs. You know better than that. Come on, Kiki. We're trying to teach her the World of Warcraft. It's work, Kiki. Yeah, work means I can't play. It means I can't. She's looking at me. She's looking at me like, can you? Okay, go settle, Bubba. Oh dear. Anyway, so what the heck am I doing today? I don't know. We were thinking about accent colors and stuff. Let me look at what I was doing while we chat. Let's see here. That's right, I was going real blue liner with the leather straps. I remember now. Okay. I'm going to block in gold. I'm going to keep blocking in colors now because I need to figure out if I'm going to do an accent. And if so, where and how and what I'm going to do. So I'm going to keep blocking in some stuff. I think I'm going to use NMM Gold Shadow for the gold just because I've got it close to hand. She's random. I think she's about 75. I actually have to call the vet today and take her in to get a weigh-in so we can renew her flea goo prescription. and get more flea goo. Yeah, this is a good model. Yeah, my guess is she's about 75. 75 pounds, sorry. If you work in kilograms, then you have to convert that. So yeah, let's get some of this NMM Gold Shadow on there. Yeah, I'll do a mix. Oh, she's bringing in, oh, you're going to bring in your chew? Good girl. You know, speed paint stuff, I don't usually look at, Mac, because I don't speed paint. Although that's not strictly true. My termagants, I'm still messing around with my Tyranids. I painted, okay, hey, actually, you know what? It's time for public opinion. It's time to ask strangers on the internet, except you guys aren't strangers, so hold on. So I was trying out a whole bunch of different things on my termagant last night. And I got 2 more bugs, like, base coated, like, so, you know, my speed paint is really just actually using a wash. I hate to say that. But, Clavicus, thank you for the resub. Woohoo! That's true, pints are crazy. So, yeah, 35 to 40 kilograms and 39 months. Thank you for the resub, Clavicus. So, wait, boom, boom. Hey, get out of my way. All right, this is my bug. Wait, let's get in focus. Focus on the bug. Don't look, Reaper, don't look. I'm showing a GW model. All right, so what I have here is everything has been kind of color shifted. You can't really tell. The thing with color shift paint is you can't really see the color shift on small models like this. It would be a lot more, hey, enough. It would be a lot more evident on a big model, right? So I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with the color shift. Because I also did, just like to show you, this is what it looked like before the color shift. And I kind of liked how it looked before the color shift. So I'm like, you know, I didn't have the white on this side yet. So this side is more like what it, yes. Yeah, like that's not color shift at all. I'm not even debating, like the teal, and there was teal here too, but the camera's not picking up. There's teal on all the highlights. So it's indigo and teal, but the carapace is what I'm working on. So here I brought it up to a really warm yellow. Here it's more of an icy yellow, and then here it's more of just a pink. I don't like the pink. Yeah, see, David hates the sparkles, and I can't decide if I like them or don't. So I'm like, kind of like just, because the problem with color shift is until you build it up in a lot of layers, you get that sparkle right. You like the warm? Yeah, see, I keep feeling like it's a little too warm. Like I want these guys to, the problem is, Carrie Michael, is that, yeah, you like the yellow parts, huh? See, that's, the problem is I want these guys to be on snow bases, so I didn't want to go that warm with them. It figures that you guys like the really warm yellow. I like the colder yellow on the leg here. But yeah, so that's what the Tyranid. I'm slowly figuring out what I want to do with the Tyranid, and then the other side is just straight up that. So if I didn't color shift it, it would look like that, and you could see the details. Yeah. So you have back stuff going on, yeah. Yeah, I use a kneeling chair. It helps a little bit. But yeah, so that's what my Tyranid's looking like right now, and I'm just going to finish out the other side and see what I really like. So now that I've got color shift all on this side, if I want to stick to the color shift or if I don't. I mean, it does help because it makes the carapace look like a different material than the skin, which I like. But yeah, so that's what. And as far as speed painting goes, like, this is the most I speed paint. Like, I actually do a wash. But yeah. You like the non-sparkly as well, though, huh? Yeah, I mean, they pick up the purple, right? They bring up more of the purple. But yeah, so the start out is like this. It's really easy, right? You just do the base coat in Moonstone Blue, the wash in the Night Sky Indigo, and then I use blue liner or black indigo. Either one would work to just block in all the carapace parts, and then I start bringing it up. So yeah, it's going to take a while to do these guys. But the thing is, once I have the color scheme all down, it won't take a while to do these guys. I should be able to easily do like 3 guys like every week to a really nice standard that I'm happy with. And that's pretty good progress for me on an army. I'm not looking to like set speed records. I'm not looking to be in a hurry. I just want to actually put together a Tyranid army that I really like. And I already know what my basing is going to be. So yeah. Oh, yeah, I bet it's hot there. Yeah, it's going to be almost 90 here again today. So the house is going to get really stifling at some point. Usually around 5 or 6 p.m. is how stifly it gets. Let's see here. What are we at? Yeah, it's 73 now, which is beautiful, but the house is already 74 because the sun is coming down on it. I had to close up all the windows, and it's supposed to get to 87. So yeah, by like 4 p.m., 4 to 5 p.m. is usually the worst. Yeah, with no AC. Hey, Keeker, you can settle down. It's okay. I hear ya. I know. You heard something outside and you woofed. I gotcha. She's like, why do you boop my nose? Why? But yeah, so it's going to be pretty ugly in here today, sadly. But tomorrow is supposed to be, it's supposed to drop down to 80 tomorrow, which sounds like it's still too hot, but with 80, I can keep the house open. And it'll feel pretty good, because as long as there's a breeze, and we've got lots of fans. Because I like hot weather, so as long as it's not like it's just at 90, shut up in a house is stifling. Like yesterday, it was still 86, and I popped all the freaking windows open because it was just worse. It was worse to be in the house with the interior temperature being 80 degrees with no air movement than it was to pop open all the windows and get the air movement with it being 86 outside. All right, Lady Nim, 21. Very nice, very nice. Round of applause, round of applause. Oh, getting smoke. Aw. It depends on where you are, Thormel. Where we are is very moderate. I think it's very moderate humidity where we are. It's usually, let me see what we got. 64% humidity today. I'd say we usually hover between 46 and 65, or 45 and 65% humidity. So it's a nice level of humidity. We're not too dry unless we go a long time without any precipitation. We should be okay. And it might be on your end, Cornico. Oh, Shadow Raven. Oh, 118. Yuck. Yuck, Bob and Julie. Yuck. Yeah, I like 81. I mean, it's just when it gets 90 here and I have to shut in the house. Because if I shut up the house, we have great insulation. So it stays in the 70s like all day, even when it's 90 outside. Until it gets to the last part of the day, if it's like over 90 or it's like 91, 92, then it'll hit 80 inside, and then the lack of air movement tends to be a bit much. You heard it too? Oh, okay. Maybe I heard nothing. I heard nothing, and I've got my my mic like situated away from the light, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, mic hasn't changed. No idea. Yeah, maybe my mic had a moment. It's okay now, though? Let me know if it happens again. Yes, it's fine now. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Like it hasn't, like I just like shoved it just a tiny bit more like away from the light, because I know we were getting feedback when our lights have been. In terms of why, I'm not bad, yeah. Auditory hallucinations, woohoo! Alrighty, let's see here. I got these. Just getting my stuff figured out here. There we are. Okay, let's get some paint on this guy. Am I going to do the Da Vinci or am I going to do the Winsor Newton? I have noticed the Winsor Newton is wearing a bit faster than my Da Vinci's tend to. Maybe it's just random though. I only have one sample size, so I can't really call it a thing. Polly, thank you. 14 months. Lots of resubs today. Super awesome. All right, let's get some of this gold on here. I really want to feel like I want to know what I'm going to be using for a accent color. This is NMM Gold Shadow, and I actually did pop a drop of Frisch Leather into it just to brighten it up just a little bit. I'll just cover these over. Nice, Lady Nim. Yeah, there were times in Texas where it was just too freaking hot. And I like heat. This isn't too bad. When I can open up the house, it's not bad. I am starting to feel like I need extra shorts. Like I own like exactly one pair of shorts, and I'm like, maybe I need more shorts. So anybody who's on my author mailing list, you should have gotten an email today. You should have gotten my newsletter for July, which was delayed slightly since the Seattle trip happened. But on there, it has info on contacting me if you want to be an ARC reader, which is Advanced Reader Copy. So you would get a free copy of a very simple PDF version or book funnel version of my book for free. You would get to read it early in exchange for leaving a review on Amazon on launch day, so that I can have reviews on my book from day one, which it really does make a difference actually. So if you are on my mailing list, you guys are the ones I'm asking to be this, so yeah, give it a look. It's also info about a sale that I'm going to be running, a promotion on book 1. I'm going to be running it when book 2 comes out. So if you have relatives or friends who are like, oh, it's not done yet because it's a series, right? Then, you know, you can tell them, hey, dude, the series is complete now that the second book is out and the first book is on sale. You have no excuse. Oh, good, 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 Asian Marvel. Yes, yes. Yeah, you saw the email. Yes! Lots of corn increases the humidity. Is that for reals, or are you just saying that, Asian Marvel? Oh, Iowa is the hell of corn, you know. I need more than one pair of shorts. I guess I do. Oh, that's nice, Chris. I mean, a few more responsibilities, but an extra buck an hour. You know, it's good. It's real. Corn increases humidity, huh? That explains so much. All right, I'm going to just make little gold bangles on the end of this little handle on the shield. So if I want to do an accent color, I've got here, I've got here, I've got here. I've kind of held off this leaf brooch because I'm kind of feeling like if I do an accent color, I might want to do that a color. I was going to do it metal, but that might not be in the cards. Or maybe I'll just do the stem metal and the other part an accent color. I'm kind of feeling like kind of a magenta pink or purpley red kind of color on this. Or a purple highlighted with pink. Pink and red. Kind of feeling that, kinda. But I'm kind of I'm letting it sit in my brain. Interesting. So it's a combination of the fact that you need a lot of irrigation of a particular type for corn, which also pushes up the humidity, and corn itself. So corn really is evil. That's good to know. I mean, I do love eating sweet corn every once in a while, but in general, our culture pumps corn into everything because it's cheap. I tend to avoid it. All right, I want a little bit more. I want some. I need a liner here so I can do the bottom part of this scabbard. Yeah, corn is just like everything else. It's just a tool. It's neither good nor evil. Unless it's in high fructose corn syrup, then it's evil. Because it's helping us be fat. Of course, they'd figure out something else to sweeten everything with if they didn't have that, so. Alrighty. Got a liner. I don't know. So maybe we'll put down a purple of sorts and see. Yeah, I know. You guys use just more cane sugar, right, random user? It's tasty, but it certainly helps to fatten us all up. I guess anything, any type of like that kind of grain. I just don't like that because it's cheap, they feed it to like farm animals that otherwise like shouldn't, like it's not a natural part of their diet. But that's just my silly thing. They even feed it to farmed salmon. It's like weird. Anyway, enough on corn. Enough on corn. I grew up around corn, a lot of corn, and I do love sweet corn. I just try not to eat too much of it. We have it every once in a while when David is like craving it and it looks really good at the supermarket. I haven't had cream corn in a while. I used to eat a lot of it as a kid. I loved it. Yeah. But yeah, now I don't really eat cream corn. Just the only corn I eat now, I don't even eat popcorn anymore. Although when I was at Reaper, because Ed had that air pop machine, that was tasty. I would often get taunted into the air pop popcorn. But these days I don't have it unless David pops some popcorn. In general, I've gotten it's something like, yes, it's tasty, but I could definitely live without it in my diet. Alright, I think I'm going to do gold on the buckles, I think, instead of silver. This model is generally warmer. Even though it's a muted green, it's still a warmer green. So I'm going to stick to warmer metals. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's got some protein in it. It's got fiber. Like popcorn as a snack is a pretty good snack. And it's not super high carb because it's got the fiber in it. So that's nice. That's why I would let myself have some when I was at Reaper, even though I was on keto. Yeah, I've stopped having sweetened drinks altogether at this point. I managed to wean myself off finally. I found a sparkling water that I liked without sweetener in it, and so I started just having that, and then I started doing other types of sparkling flavored water, and just never went back to sweetener. Which is good, because my guts are like not thrilled with sweeteners in general, and I certainly don't need more sugar. So yeah, thank God for flavored sparkling water. And now, of course, I've gotten addicted to the Topo Chico, which is just straight up mineral water. Thanks, Bridget. I don't think... I believe it was an infection of some sort, Mac, but don't quote me on that. But it wasn't a heart attack. Wasn't a heart attack, wasn't a stroke. Ed was actually, like, Ed walked every day. Ed was pretty good about trying to keep himself fit and everything. And when you do that, your chances of the heart attack and the stroke go down a lot. That's why I walk and do my things every day. But yeah, I think it was an infection, but I don't remember. All right, I want to grab my Sticks Purple and my Violet Red. And I think I want to do kind of a mix of these and see what it looks like. Yeah. So I'm going to do 2 drops of the Sticks Purple. I'm going to do 1 drop of the Violet Red, and I'm going to just kind of keep mixing until I come to something darker, on the darker side, that I like. I don't want this accent color to be really poppy, or it'll overwhelm everything else on the model. But I want it to, oh no, too much water. That's what happens when you don't shake your paints enough, folks. Now, if you do this and you want to salvage it, grab a Kleenex and slurple up that little bit. Hold on, let me get a nice peek there. And essentially, you can see that I've gotten a lot of it with that. Because you don't want to leave that binder in there. It'll essentially water down your other paints, the paint that you already have in there. So slurp as much of it out as you can. And if you get most of it, it'll be good. I think I've gotten most of it there. I don't really see a lot of it left. Yeah, everything else looks good. All right. So that's how you get around that if you accidentally don't shake your paint enough because you think you've used it recently. Yeah, that stuff's no good. I haven't had aspartame in ages. I went to Splenda, and then I went to Stevia, and then the problem with Crohn's, or with my gut stuff, whatever it does turn out to be, Crohn's or whatever it is it's just that I've learned that I'm more sensitive to artificial sweeteners. So, I mean, and even natural sweeteners like stevia, they're still not, they're still weird. My system actually doesn't go with it. So I've gone to having like very little sweeteners, and if I do, then I let myself have some real honey or real sugar, but I try not to do it in general because I'm still low carb. So I've managed to do it. I've managed to, over the years, wean myself off of, because I loved Mountain Dew when I was in high school. Oh my God. Then I weaned myself onto diet soda. Then I weaned myself pretty much onto water and tea when I was keto, and onto the stevia and stuff. And then finally now I'm just on to sparkling water with no sweetener. It took a while. Behavior change takes a while. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the flavored sparkling waters are a good thing to like. If you get some of them almost taste sweet, like the AHA brand orange grapefruit is a good one. That was the one that was the first one that I found that I could really enjoy with no sweetener in it. So once I had that, I kind of worked from there. So okay, so mixing violet red with the Sticks purple gives us this beautiful mulberry color. Oh, interesting. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, blood thinners plus surgery, not good, especially with a complicated surgery. For sure, Mac, for sure. And your sense of smell, weirdly. I found that I actually, and I've never had a good sense of smell, but I found that my sense of smell got much better when I was on keto. It was weird. It was really weird. When you're used to not smelling things, starting to smell things more is really funny. All right, I'm going to get some white. I want to put white. This is a little bit transparent. You can kind of see there. So I want to do white first. So I'm going to get my white together. I'm going to undercoat the parts that I think I might do this accent color on. Because this is a muted color scheme, I want even my accent color be muted. Now, you don't have to do that. If you're doing a muted color scheme, you actually can get away with a really bright accent color. It's one of the times that you can skip that rule, but you must keep it very small if you do so. So doing something that's larger with an accent, maybe as much as like these scabbards here, might be too much. If I was doing it bright. So instead, I'm going to keep it a little bit muted, but still I want it to look good with him. I think this this reddish purple is going to look really good. And I'll probably highlight it by adding more violet red and a touch of white. I mean, obviously with red you can't go wrong because you have a green color scheme, so red is complementary, but purple is also part of the green, orange, purple triadic color scheme. So doing a mix of the two is always going to work, essentially. It's always going to work. Cursed. Yeah, surgery is scary, Mac. I hope you can get to a better, healthier place so that you can not have to worry so much about your health, because I know how that is. I've been there. I'm doing pretty okay right now, so my wish for you is that you also manage to get to pretty okay. But yeah, so there we go. So I'm just going to put a little bit of white down here. I had to touch up there anyway because when I lined around the hand, it really blocked out this little area of the hilt. I'm waiting to hear back about a book promotion from a book promotion site. I applied to be featured in their email. They have two different tiers of email promotion, just the regular list, and then they've got their featured slot, which costs a little bit more, but gets you like front and center. And they're picky about their features, so I'm waiting to see if I qualify. I'm hoping, crossing fingers, that would be nice. Trying to set up more promotions for East of the Sun for when West of the Moon launches. So I'm doing an actual launch this time. By actual launch, it's what they usually recommend, like you do. Like there's definitely best practices when you're launching your new books as an indie author. Stuff that you really can't do if you're traditionally published because you don't own the rights to do it. Because your publisher sets up all this stuff on new platforms, so you really can't do it yourself. But I can, so yeah, I'm actually gonna do it like email blast through a couple of promotion sites when West of the Moon comes out, and see what kind of bestseller rank we can hit, guys. Managed to get, I think we got to #2 on Coming of Age Fantasy last time, so they are cursed, but because it's 2 books, I split them. So first book is East of the Sun, and West of the Moon is the second book. And originally they were going to be 1 book. Then they got very long. The first book is 110,000 words, and the second book is 140,000 words. That's a long book, by the way, y'all. Long. That was a long book. Long book is long. Yeah, for sure. For sure, Mac. That's sobering. Well, fingers crossed. The best thing you can do, honestly, is to try to keep a good attitude through the whole thing. Because if you come through okay, like, your recovery can really, really be influenced. Like, try to stay positive. I know it's really hard. It's really, really hard. I'm the kind of person who goes into surgery still making jokes until they finally get sick of me and put me under. So, and I'm not joking. That's me. My surgeon loved it, though. She always loved it. She would sit there and make Monty Python jokes, crack Monty Python jokes at me as we were wheeling down toward the operating room. But yeah, try to keep hope in your heart, and take a good look. If your issues are lifestyle related, do take a good long look at your lifestyle when you come out and see what you might be able to change. Because even if you've tried stuff before and it's always failed, it's never too late to try until it's too late. So, but we'll have all the hopes in our hearts for you, Mac. Yeah. Cursed. Should you put agitators in texture pots? You shouldn't. In texture paint, Delta? It depends, right? Because some texture paints are just really, really thick, and it's probably just going to get gooped in there. If it's a thinner texture paint, like if it's thick like paste, it's not going to work. Honestly, if it's thick like paste, if it's like these guys, like this is their base texture paint, every once in a while, I just open it up and give it a good stir. See how I've got some fluid on the top? It's because I add water to it so it doesn't dry out. But I'll just give it a good stir with the butt of my brush, make sure that I'm getting everything kind of like, good and in solution. And then, if it's something like this where I'm going to keep it open a while, I'll add a couple drops out of my water. I'll just add a few drops every time I open it. And then next time I open it, I'll stir it up before I use it. Make sure the lid is always on tight for some of these. Oh, yeah, Merchant says. See, I'm the opposite, Hyper. And this I give eternal thanks for. But when I come out of surgery, I feel like I have had the best sleep of my life. Like, it's like when you wake up after a really good sleep. Like, that's how I feel coming out of anesthesia. Maybe I just had a really good anesthesiologist in Texas. I don't know. But yeah, I always felt really good. And after the first time I felt really good, I started to look forward to it, which just reinforced it, right? So, I'm sorry that you had that experience, Hyper. I wish everybody my experience, which is like, wow, that was the best sleep ever. Because you're going to be a hurting unit, when you really wake up. So, yes. Hey! Major, thanks for the resub. It is resub day today. Dang. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe work on meditation. I hate to say this sounds so hokey, but it works for me. But yeah, doing breathing exercises, like if you ever learned about box breathing, Hyper, where you take it, you count 4 and you inhale, and then you hold it for 4, and then you exhale for 4, and then you hold it for 4, and then you inhale for 4. Just doing the box, it actually has an effect on your nervous system. Like, they've done testing and studies on it. So box breathing can be a good way to just start, and you don't have to worry, like, it makes you concentrate on your breath, right, and the counting, and so it takes your brain out of panic mode. So box breathing is maybe a good thing even to do, like, do it when you're just waiting, when you've got the terrible needle in your hand, if you go through surgery again. I don't know if you're going to, but I did. So I got into this whole thing. The worst time is when they've got the stupid needle in your hand, but they're waiting, right? That's the waiting period is the worst. But yeah, box breathing is a really nice. You never feel rested. You should, Crows, because it might be something like sleep apnea. Because that's a real thing. When you're not getting enough oxygen, it can really get into you. Yeah, right. That was me. I always feel like I've fallen asleep and I wake up feeling great. Agent Marvel. Yeah, box breathing is really, really good for calming down because it just forces you to just count and breathe. So, yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Cursed, is oxygen, right? Well, first you should see if you've been diagnosed with it, right, obviously, and if you tried the machine and you're not. But aren't there masks that can just help with sleep apnea too? Although the best way is, of course, to just you might just add in a little more physical activity, that kind of thing. Doing the exercise, getting more exercise can help with it. Yeah, you did the 10s. Most people say do the 4s, but you can do the 10s as well if you're really good. Yeah, it does. It's sobering, right? Yeah. I get it, Mac. I get it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's why you woke up crazy, Hyper Bunny. That's it. Like, okay, so this is another study thing that they talk about is whatever's the last thing on your mind is the first thing on your mind when you wake up. So, and this is just sleeping even. So you never want to sit there and worry or stress right before sleep. You want to kind of like just think about something else because it'll help, right? So yeah, so that's why. Yeah, that's absolutely why. Like that is actually a thing that people use if like they're trying to solve a problem. It's a thing you can actually utilize. Where if you're trying to like really come up with a solution for something, you can think about it before you go to bed, and in the morning you might have ideas about it. Like your subconscious mind works while you're asleep, or even under. Apparently, your subconscious mind was like, "I'm not ready," and then it still wasn't ready. So yeah, well now that you know that, hey, now knowing is half the battle, right? Yeah, try the box breathing thing if you have to go again, because the box breathing thing just really feels good for me in the morning. Yep, it's weight. Yep, I know. Yeah, that's why I suggested some activity, because it's like, if people are like sleep apnea and you say, well, lose weight. Oh, that's what the doctors tell you all the time. I say this as a previous fat person who is still pudgy. They're always like, well, you should just lose some weight. That'll solve your problems. Well, thanks, doc. That's really, I can act on that. No. I hate doctors who do that. I hate it. It's like, no, give me some actual constructive things to do. Give me action steps. Like, let's make a plan here. Work with me. It's so funny. Oh, yeah, you can't lift. Yep. Well, that's great that you've got a supportive spouse and that she's, like, really helping. And, yeah, that's good, Mac. Well, I don't want to lose you, so you have to come through this. When can I ask when your procedure is? You don't have to say if you're not comfortable with it. Or has it not been scheduled and they're just kind of waiting until you're off the stuff? Just so we can send you good thoughts. You can just give us a general like in this month if you want to. It's not so simple. No. Weight loss is complicated. Yeah, and diet is not simple. February. All right. So you got a ways. We've got you for a while. We'll just we'll start sending good thoughts now. Just enjoy every day and do what you can. That's all we can do. And the same with the weight loss thing, right, Kodiak? It's like, you've got to learn. I speak as somebody who's lost 60 pounds. I had to learn how to game my brain and the diet tools that would help support me in gaming my brain, right? Like, because your brain is going to freak out. It thinks you need all the sugar, all the awesome, all these chocolate. I'm stressing, especially if you're a stress eater like me, right? So I had to like figure out a way to eat that cut down on the cravings, and then my actual then I could start like kind of gaming my brain and go, okay, I'm not really hungry now, and things like that. And the problem is that when you depending on your body type and your metabolism type and all that, some foods will really kind of trigger your system, right? They'll really make you crave stuff that you shouldn't eat, but you've got that craving and you just, like most of us, willpower is finite. And it hits us really hard. And if we're stress eaters, that just doubles down. So I understand how complicated it is. I mean, I'm sitting here and I've been trying to lose this 20 pounds that I'm on right now, trying to lose. I've been trying to lose it for a year. But I know, if I just keep trying, eventually the habits that I'm trying to put into place will help, right? For me, it was keto. For me, it was low carb. Because when I learned that when I eat sugar or sweet things, it just makes me want more of that. So when I did keto and I dropped the sugar out, I was able to, I didn't have as many cravings, and that was huge. So that's why I still eat low carb today. And if I really pay attention, when I have even I allow myself to have a square of chocolate after lunch and stuff, but if I really pay attention, I can feel it. I have the chocolate and it's tasty, but all it does is make me want more chocolate, even though I just had chocolate. So part of me sometimes just drop the chocolate out. I don't eat it. I eat fruit instead. Fruit doesn't have the same effect on me for some reason. But everybody's metabolism and body is different. And if you're already overweight, then you're fighting that. Your body has gotten really efficient and it knows what it wants and it's going to fight you, right? So it's not impossible, though. It's not impossible. Never give up. Yeah, adjustable breads, yeah. Yeah, the split mattresses are the best. Yeah, see, and that means you're just different, right? Yeah, everybody's different. Everybody's different, Shadow Raven. So it's you just got to figure out, if you can figure out the specific, and this is maybe this takes an analyzed brain. Maybe you can find a food person to help you with this, but figure out what you're craving and try to figure out what did I drop out? What's getting here? Why am I craving it? Right? I craved sweet things for 2 or 3 weeks when I started keto, and then it just tapered off. It just started to get less and less and less. And then I also did the whole, they call it exposure, where you actually expose yourself to the thing you're craving and then you make yourself think bad thoughts about it. So I actually would walk by, I've talked about this before, but Dave always would bring in donuts on, I think, Mondays and Fridays for Reaper. I would walk by the break room box of donuts and I would bend down and take a huge whiff of it and I would think poison, and then I would walk away. And it got to the point where I didn't even want the donut. Even now, I can walk past a case of donuts at the grocery store and just not even want them. Because I thought evil things about them for the longest time. Yeah, if you can distract yourself, like I'll do that sometimes, Kirst. That's a great tip. Like if you've got a snack craving, start working on something that occupies your hands and your brain, like minis. I knit. Like if I want to like just sit down and I'm doing something, but I'm feeling those cravings, like I want a snack while I do this, I'll just get my knitting out. Yeah, bad sleep helps. Yeah, bad sleep does impact weight gain. Yep. Yes, and it's a horrible vicious cycle. Yep, it is. You got it, Hyper. You're exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, and chocolate can help, and chocolate can hurt, and it's like everybody's different. Yeah, bread, pasta, chips. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, I dropped pasta entirely. I started baking low carb. First, I started baking gluten free, which helped it by itself. Have you tried just going gluten free, Kodiak, and seeing if you lose a little bit? Because you can still get some pretty darn good gluten free crackers and stuff. But I lost 10 to 15 pounds just going gluten free, just dropping the gluten out. And then from there, I transitioned to lower carb. You might even just find success by not like going low carb, but just lower, right? Letting yourself have the bread, but only less of the bread. But yeah, you might try it. I mean, if you're not like, there's some really good gluten-free breads out there now, and like you can buy like really good crackers that are gluten-free as well. I forget the brand I like the most, but that helped me a bit. Yeah, you cut back sugar, dairy. Yeah, because dairy can also be a thing, right? I'm lactose intolerant, so I had to go to goat's milk, sheep's milk, and stuff that doesn't really have it in there. Yeah. Have you tried smaller plates, Kodiak? Like buying different plates that are smaller so that you feel like you're getting as much food. Like your brain goes, oh, my plate is full. But then it works. I hate to say it, but it actually does work. At least it worked for me. Because I used to eat a lot too, and I used to always go back for seconds, and I was able to kind of kick that seconds thing. Alrighty, so I've got my white in here. I think I am going to white this leaf. We're going to see. We're going to experiment and see if making this leaf a color is okay. I'm not sure it will be okay, but we'll see. Yeah, well, tell your wife it's an investment in your future. I mean, it is, right? The better shape you can get into going into, like, the second half or the last third of whatever you're at, your life, like, the more time you may have to enjoy it, so. That motivates me. I really want to live till I'm 100, and I want to have a good standard of living when I do it. So I am at this point willing to make life choices if I have to give up something and just find a substitute or find something that works for me in the same place. But yeah, again, everybody's different. Everybody's got it. That's the damnable thing, right? Is like what works for somebody else isn't going to work for you, and it's really annoying because it would be so useful if you could just like have like a category system where it's like, well, if you're a type 2, this will work for you. If you're a type 14, this will work. Don't you wish we had that? So many times I've wished for that. But no, I had to like figure out myself on my own, and I think we all do. The best we can do is like, try different stuff and see what works. Wow, that is pretty amazing, Bill Robertson. I was forced recently to watch the trailer for the Barbie movie, and I have to admit, it looks like a good movie. You didn't hear me say that. I recommended this book before, but there is a great book out there called Younger Next Year. Originally written for guys, but there's a gal's version as well. But it mostly, it does talk about diet and, you know, eating what you're supposed to and not too much of it. It's mostly just a pep talk book, but I mean, what the science behind the exercise recommendations is real. It helped to motivate me recently again. All right, so that really is not popping very much, you must say. That purple on the very small areas is not really showing up. I'm going to put it on a bigger area. You can see that if I hadn't undercoated with white, we wouldn't see this purple at all. Like, it just wouldn't be visible. So I think I'm going to have to brighten it up a little bit. Uh-huh. No, I mean, if you watch the trailer, I hate to say this, guys, if you really want to, like, you should watch the Barbie movie trailer. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it is actually pretty funny. It's pretty awesome. Having been forced to watch it at our last board game day, I do have to. It did not rot my brain. It did not rot my brain. So I'm going to put this purple down, but then I'm going to brighten it up with highlights. Yeah, it's actually interesting, isn't it? So yeah, so there we go. Endorsement for the Barbie movie trailer, at least. I don't know that I will see the movie, but it reminded me, the vibe reminds me of the original Lego movie. It's silly cool, if you will. It's silly cool. All right, so we've got some purple on this. It's definitely not popping very much, so we're going to go and lighten it up and red it up a little bit. Good deal, Flormel. Yeah. Yes, I know. Yes. I like when she shows the other Barbies, and that her feet are like, you know, like not like Barbie feet anymore, and they all freak out. That was my favorite part. Oh no, Hyper Bunny. Yep. Yeah, it's true. Everybody's an individual. I mean, it's the same thing with this hobby, right? We talk about it a lot. Like, just because some person gets some magic effect from some, like, paint line. Somebody asked about the new metallic, like, quick paint metallic stuff. Yeah, the speed paint stuff. I haven't, I don't really, that's not the kind of thing I typically go for. Just because it's not a technique that I tend to do. There's a lot of people out there on the interwebs who will tell you how to use it. But my joy is actually in getting results with more measured techniques. So there we go. We'll get some pink in there. All right, so I grabbed that purple and I threw some more violet red in it. And now I've got some pinky stuff going on. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it or not. I don't know. I may go away from this and do something else instead. Emphasis on known, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, Hyper Bunny. Yep, yep. I'm sorry you've been having such a hard year. Just going to get in here and do a bit of lining around my little leaf brooch here before I try to highlight it a bit. Yeah, that's really nice, Twisted Oma. I wish more employers did that sort of thing. Or more health insurance companies. I mean, if you think about it, it would save them a lot of money if they could help people lose weight, right? You'd think the self-interest thing would kick in there. Going a bit more reddish. Now that's starting to pop. All I did was just like put a couple highlights on that. But yeah, medicine is just a weird thing. Like doctors are like detectives. They're looking at your symptoms, running tests so they get more information, and then they're trying to make a diagnosis based on what they can see. And when they're trying to fix you, they're, doing all sorts of weird detective work there too. Which is why House worked as a series, right? He's totally Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, do what you can, Hyper. Do what you can. I mean, all we can do is try our best to do the best for ourselves. And sometimes that can be hard, just because there's so many people telling you to do so many things that might help or might not help. There's so much information, and it's all conflicting. But, when it comes down to it, we're all, like, responsible for ourselves. So, do what you can. It's all you can do. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on the red violet. I'm going to finish it out, but I'm not sold on it. I think I want to glaze it with just the violet red and bring it down more, but I just can't decide. Oh, interesting. So yeah, your yoga just attacked you, and the next thing you know. Hold on, I missed some chat. I don't like seeing. Steam Force Discord. Well, but it's good. It's good, Kariniko. Because, it's the thing is that then people get to see stuff that was done not using speed paints, right? So I never think it's bad. I mean, unless they start talking trash at you. Because sometimes communities will have that kind of backlash, sadly. But, I mean, if they're open to it, just if Steamforged is like, open to seeing higher quality paint jobs and they appreciate it, then awesome. Alright, just darken down that purple. That's good, Hyper. Yeah. Well, now you know that yoga's not for you. Honestly, some of the yoga moves that David could do when we were doing yoga during the pandemic, I was like, who the heck would do that? I could totally see how you could dislocate a kneecap. Like, with just a slip, right? Just a slip. The yoga I do is like very, very not risky yoga. My yoga every morning is very simple yoga. I do my cat cows. I do my bird dogs. And my downward dogs. All the dogs. I do all the dogs. Go figure. So we're going to give this red purple a chance, because maybe I'll like it as I add more of it. Yeah, I feel it, Hyper. I feel it. Yeah, I tried the contrast paint, but I'd just rather mix my own washes. Like, I like that I can control. This is the lighter wash, by the way. So I'm doing experiment, right? Here's the darker wash, if you guys are interested. If you look at the Termagant skin on both of these, they're both based with the same color. But the one on the left is 2 drops of paint to 4 drops of sealer and 2 drops of water. And the one on the right is 1 drop of paint to 4 drops of sealer to 2 drops of water. So it's the same sealer, the same water. It's just 1 drop of paint versus 2 drops of paint. And you can see how much darker it gets, but also that it does outline things better, right? So that's why I'm trying both. And the one on the right will give you a much lighter, you know, when I start doing these highlights, it's going to look lighter. And I'm going to essentially do 2, and then I'm going to make my decision on which I like. Yeah. That's always, yeah. But, it you know, it opens up their minds and lets them see a different way of painting, right, Cornico? Which is awesome. Warrior 2 transition to plank. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, but I could totally see how that could happen. Yeah, Warrior 2, yep. Yeah, and I could totally see how that could happen. And one thing that, I hate to say this, but CrossFit has actually taught me something just by, like, kind of looking at where I'm sore the next day. But what CrossFit taught me recently was how many micro muscles there are around your knee. Like, yeah, the straight leg, wow. Interesting. But like, there's so many, like, supporting little tendons and micro, like, just little stuff around your knee to keep your knee in, because your knee's just floating, right? Like, it's not really, but yeah. So, like, recognizing that, because I started, because first you hit the main muscles, but then my all of the, like, everything, or the support structure all around my knees after the last CrossFit was just a little sore. It was weird. And I was like, oh, there are muscles down there. Yeah. Right. See, and that's why, even though I'm painting for Army, I'm still trying to put out a model that I'm happy with. Like, this is definitely not, you know, like, show quality, but it's good enough, and I can paint it faster, but it's still enjoyable, right? I think that's the thing when you, if you decide to paint an army, or you're painting for a game of any sort, is figuring out where's your sweet spot as far as getting a paint job done to a level where you both enjoy painting it and enjoy the result. And when you hit that, that's your sweet spot for army/game painting. Yeah, with distance running. I can believe that, Butts. Because tendons just don't have a lot of blood flow to them, which is why it takes them so long to heal. But yeah, I'm so sorry, Hyper, that you had that happen. Like, that sounds like kind of a freak accident, but I could see how it could happen, for sure. Yeah, yoga's more hardcore than people think it is. Some of the stuff we were doing during the pandemic, I would just take a look at her and I would just be like, nope. If you'd just broken your leg. Yeah, absolutely. I could see that. And it's so weird, right? Gosh. No rips or tears, but everything's stretched. Yep. And then you had to recover from all that. Yep. And it takes forever because tendons. Yep. Tendons and ligaments. Oh my. That's why I try to keep it very low. That's pretty low impact on my new regimen. All right, a little bit of pink in there. All right, I'm liking it a little more now. I'm liking the purple red a little bit more now. I'm going to do this back scabbard. Yeah, that's just crazy talk. It's just insane how our bodies function or don't, right? Bodies are weird, folks. Have you, Hyper, were you like one of those kids who was really flexible? I was just wondering if that was, if that maybe a superpower worked against you. Yeah, I think platinum hair. I agree, Michael Janae. Or sorry, I outed you. You know who I mean. I meant to say your fake name instead. I said your real name. It's because I'm like trying to do 3 things at once. Yes, was and still am. See, I wondered about that because that I've always been very tight in the joints, but sometimes I think that works in my favor. Weirdly, because nothing has ever had the tendency to kind of slip and slide like that. Even though I hated it as a kid, like all of the kids around me are sitting there doing the splits and all that crap, and I couldn't do it. No way. Never lost a kneecap, but yeah, I bet, right? You would have remembered. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm doing, I'm doing the weight training because they say as you get older, you should do 2 days a week. 2 days a week of weight strength training to help keep your balance and your reflexes and everything. Help keep those neurons all connected, right? But yeah. Yeah, that's still weird. Like, I can only imagine how weird and crazy and alarming and terrifying that would have been, Hyper Bunny, so I do not envy you the experience. I hope you get it back. I hope you get it back in good time without too many setbacks. You're a fan of not losing kneecaps. Yes, yes. I would not want to lose one either. So just a little bit more of that red and stuff. I feel like I need like a little bit more intensity up there. I'm trying to hit that sweet spot where it's still muted, but it's showing up enough. I like the color with the greens. It's just, it's not popping, but I don't know that I need it to, so it's not bad. It's not bad. We'll let it float, I think. We're going to let this one float. Kind of fill in everything else and see how it looks. Got all that. Got to get this guy. And you've done yoga for years. Yeah, that's weird. Just a freak thing. All right, I'm going to darken in behind this hand and behind all of this, I think. Oh yeah, Cursed, for sure. I'm going to have to take Kiki for her walk pretty quick today before it gets too hot. So I'm just going to darken in the back of the shield. You guys know I usually like to do a wood grain or something. Yeah, I'm debating. Might need to make this strap the same kind of purple. What's up, Keekers? You getting impatient? We're getting close to the end of stream. So the nice thing about him being in lighter colors is that when I black in or dark in the shield here, it really, everything stands out against it very well. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, Hyper. Well, I'm just happy you're improving. Be glad for the blessings you've got. Yeah, I may need to make that handle, because you see how that blue handle, that blue liner handle just disappeared once I darked in the shield. I do want to keep a dark shadow. I want things to stand out against it. I don't know that I want that strap to be the raspberry color, though, and I think I might just wait until I highlight it. It should be okay. Yeah, I'm alright with the red-violet. It's not bad. And I can't think of another color that would work better, right? That's the thing. And once I get the gold in, it'll actually work. The purple will work really well with the gold. Ah, Kiki hair. We've been attacked by Kiki hair. Ah, ah. There. I can tell it's Kiki hair because it's wiggly. Here we are. All right. And of course we can, I'll plop some of the purple back here as well. And on the feathers. So we are getting our colors kind of blocked in here. That's good. Yeah, I think I will do purple on the feathers. I think the hair is definitely going silver. There we are. Are we getting a buzz? What is with it today? Why? Why, microphone? Kiki, what's up? No, Kiki heard the buzz. Did you hear the buzz? Come here, Mama. Come here. We're all good. She's giving me a dubious stare. Dubious stare from the Keekster. It's not all right, Mama. I heard a buzz. Did you hear a buzz? You and Shadow Raven, huh? Oh, Stretchy Paws. Hi, Stretchy Paws. You're such a monster. How did you get to be such a monster? How did you get to be so monstrous? Look at your monster self. I need to brush you so bad. You need brushings like yesterday, Papa. You do. White noise. Oh, okay. I know what you're getting, guys. It's the fan. We have a fan going out in the main room, and it's going at full, and I'm hearing it in here, so I bet that's it. Like, I forgot to turn the fan down to a lower level. So if you're hearing like a rain or something, that's probably, it's coming, because it's coming from behind me, so it would be hitting the mic. So that would be me forgetting to turn the fan down. So that's white noise. Sorry about that. I'll remember to do. Normally I remember to turn it down, but I had it on full because I had it propped in the door so that it would bring cool air in. And then when I was kind of rushing to get online, so I just flipped it out of the door, and I forgot to, and closed the door, and I forgot to turn the RPMs down on the fan. So that The white noise is me. I'm sorry. It might have caused the earlier screech as well. Who knows? It may be fed into the mic weird. It's not like in this room, but it's like just through the door on the other side. So next time I'll have to remember to turn that down. Okay. Yeah, it's not terrible in here without it. It's gonna be terrible later, but I wonder if we'll probably, this one I think we're gonna do freehand on, guys. I think we're gonna do like tree or leaf shapes or vine shapes on the bottom of the cloak here, because otherwise it looks too plain. So we won't do the all over freehand of the other one. We'll do just a border. Yes, Crowley, thank you for tuning in. So editing on book 2 is going very slowly. I had Write Club yesterday, went downtown for Write Club, and I've figured out that I can edit a little bit more than 4 decent-sized chapters in just short of an hour and a half. That's a lot of time because I'm reading through everything and I'm making my editor's corrections. So I contacted my proofreader and I was like, can I just send you the first half of the book? And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to make, because the first half of the book is in pretty good shape, I think. It's had a couple of edits already. So I'm just going to send her the first half after I make my editor's corrections. And that way she'll be able to get it going on it. Because with a 140,000 word book, I don't want to dump it on her lap and say I need it in 2 weeks. So it turned off. You are trying to be like I don't know, Zachariah. You're definitely a troublemaker. You're getting to be trouble. Getting to be trouble on this stream with those hashtag freeze. Although you do give Luca a lot of shit, which I totally appreciate. He deserves it. But yeah, so my editing is going very slowly. So, and today is a kind of a split day where I have to do some Patreon stuff and some writing stuff. So I'm not going to get as much done with the writing. Alright, so I had to re-outline the leaves and make them a gold color, and I want to do the tops of these shafts dark. Oh, another wisdom tooth? Like, he's really... Luca's wisdom is like a -2. Like, how are they finding all of these wisdom teeth? Because I thought he was getting wisdom teeth the other day done. Or did they do them in 2 lots? In which case, oh my god, like karma. Like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But I thought he was getting it done the other day. Oh, I see. I see. Antibiotics for the other. Yep. Yeah, I was going to say, I hadn't heard of getting them done in 2 goes, but I guess if you had an infection, you have to. Oof. Oof. Poor alpaca man. Of course, don't tell him that we were sympathetic or anything. He'd take it for all he could get. All right. Oh, yeah, that sucks, Kodiak. I only had 2 lowers taken out. They didn't touch my uppers. They're just fine, apparently. All right, now I'm going to get my highlights in on this purple stuff. Oh, I would always, okay, so black wash is never a good idea unless you're working with, I mean, if you're working with purples or blues, maybe greens, then you can use a black wash. The problem is black wash is just crap over anything light, or yellow, it's terrible. Never use a black wash over yellow. and skin tones and stuff like that. But purple shading on a model, yes, here, let me show you, Antros. So I didn't do a wash on this because I like to just paint in my shadows. But these greens, the shadows are actually purple. Like, you can kind of see the bluish, like, you can kind of see the color here where it's kind of similar to this purple. So I just painted the shadows in because I didn't want to have to paint over my highlights again. But yeah, so this guy, I really love shading greens with purple. I think it's, like, really cool. I think it gives you a really neat effect. So yeah, definitely. Like, and you can even shade yellow with purple if you use the right purple, but you've got to use a more reddish purple. And what it'll do is it'll turn it orange. So we didn't do this way, but this is the color it'll turn it. So like if you take a yellow and you shade it with something like this, more reddish, then you'll get this sort of kind of burnt orange color for your yellows. I've done that before as well. So yeah, purple's really a good shader. It's obviously good for blues. It'll just like, it can be a little weird on blues though, unless you make sure it's a darker purple. Because it is warmer than blue, so you're essentially making your shadows warmer, which is not the standard, but it can work. Yeah, I really love it for greens. I do use it for yellows and browns, actually. I think I did even this has some of that. You can see the purplish tone to it. So even the fur here has that shadow on it. You can see it here on the leather as well. I did a little bit on the bone, not too much though. But yes, this guy has actually a lot of purple shading. So yeah. So yeah, you can totally do it. Purple's a great shader. And of course, it's a really good shader for red. I don't think I've got a red. Oh yeah, I do. Although it's mostly purple. But Anubis here, his red is all shaded with purple up on the top. It comes down to purple in the shadows. So yeah, I use a lot of purple. I like purple. Yeah, no straws. Oh, you're going to be getting some, huh? Oh, yeah. Yep, have fun, crows. Oh, Karnika, I have a complaint. Goldfinches are piggies. They're such piggies. Those little birds go through so much seeds. They are like devouring. Like, whoa, the level of the thistle seed feeder like drops like crazy. I mean, I'm aghast. How can such tiny black and yellow birds like just consume vast quantities? And they stay skinny. It's not fair. I've just been waiting to make that complaint because I noticed it when I refilled my feeders the other day. Yeah. Yeah, suction is bad if you just had your wisdom teeth out. Although the great thing is you can totally stock up on popsicles. Popsicles and fudgesicles. You know, nice cold stuff. Just don't like suck on them. No suction. But ice cream is tasty. It's an excuse. Wow. Yeah, they are piggies, like the goldfinches specifically. I thought the house finches were piggies, but the goldfinches have put them to shame. Since they started coming, they're just like, oh my god. I do, it's a mix of thistle seed and sunflower chips in the thistle feeder. And they are all about it. Whereas my nuthatch is like seriously loving the suet feeder. He or she is the main eater of the suet feeder. But yeah, Serious for serious. Oh, nice. Yeah, I like the titmice. I was getting a pair of them for a while, but I haven't seen them recently. I wonder if the house finches have just pretty much made it impossible for them, because I've got quite the crowd of house finch now. And they used to like get in and eat the food when there weren't many house finches, but I feel like the house finches are omnipresent now. Alright, so we've got at least stuff blocked in back here. So we can kind of see the colors coming together, which actually it looks nice back here, so I'm good with it. And then we just have to make a decision here. Maybe I'll do something funky. Actually, it would be kind of interesting to do a different colored border. I guess we've got a banner up here that we could do the purple in. Because if you look at the design, mostly the backdrop is integrated, but you do have this space here that even though there are breaks, you could totally make this a different color, an accent color. So we could do this top section. Oh my god, how did it get 11:15? 40. Oh my god, Cornico. I need more feeders for that. Oh, nice. Nice, Richard. Yeah, I wish I could, maybe I just need a different feeder so that because we have the little tufted titmouses, and they're adorable. 40 is crazy. Yeah, I know I started to wrap up and then I started painting again. Oh well, that's fine. It is what it is. I just don't know how it got so late, that's all. And I have to, let's see, what temperature is it? What are Kiki and I in for here? Kiki, what are we in for? That's 78, so if I get her out quick, it won't be 80. Poor Papa. She's going to be like, what? But it's supposed to get down. It's supposed to be back down to 79, 78 tomorrow and Wednesday. And that is just beautiful weather here. So, Rhonda will not be on. Oh, that's all right. Well, thank you, everybody, for hanging out. And I'm okay with this red purple. I'm okay with it. It's coming together. But yeah, he totally needs platinum hair now. We're totally going to do that. 63. Oh my god, Cornico. How many bird feeders do you have, Cornico? Kiki heard me mention her name and she brought me a toy. 60. I can't even imagine 63. How many feeders do you have? Oof, yeah, for sure. Take a nice cold drink. Make yourself a smoothie, Twisted Oma. God, I love smoothies. You have 5. All right. I only have one regular seed feeder, and then I've got the thistle feeder, which only... I've seen a house wren try it, or a house finch try it, but they don't really seem to like go for it. They like the regular feeder better. And then I've got my suet feeder, so maybe I need another regular feeder. Yeah, the Keekster. She's bringing me a toy. Brought me a chew, and like, hey, remember I'm here? We need to go for a walk. Oh, is it a late pendrake? It's true. Yeah, that's a lot of birds. Yeah, I don't know if I need that many birds on my side porch. I already get a lot of bird song, which I love when I have my back door open. Just listening to them is super fun. All right, we'll call it. We're gonna... Yeah, that's right. We're meesing tomorrow. But wait, I think our meesing is mostly... Let me see here. Feathery babies. Yeah, the other day David walked in and he was like, just so you know, Kiki, you're not mom's only pet now. She's got those birds. Oh, it's funny. All right, so that's right. I was going to do some weathering on the coat, and I needed to get that glove still. I think that's really where we're at. Otherwise, he's good, except we need to We need to think about basing now. I want to make a different version of this base, a better version of this base. Yeah, that's really cool that you have so many, Kriniko. I did get a different kind of nuthatch. I got a more traditional nuthatch. My usual nuthatches are pygmies. But I did get a standard nuthatch the other day. More standard nuthatch. But yeah, so, all right, cool, folks. So yeah, we'll work on this tomorrow. We'll get that glove done. We'll get the weathering done, and then we will, we'll figure out some basing. I kind of want to use, I probably need to use some low cork for it. So more like this thin stuff, the coaster cork, because I need this step here, right? But I need it not to be too high for him. So yeah, so maybe we'll work with some thin cork on this one. All right. Alrighty, stealing his birds, yes. Yeah, we have some cool nuthatches over here. They probably look a lot like yours, though. But anyway, yes, have a great one, everybody. We'll work on the mouseling tomorrow. I want to get that all done. We need to count up how many models I'm going to give Ron. There's a fair number, I think. I think Ron gets a fair number of models this year. He's lucky. All right. Have a fun one, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and not so early. Later.